Um, Welcome, everybody. It's our second PTA meeting of the school year. I think what we'll do, I'm Penny Myler, for those that don't know me. I have a son, Benjamin, who's in 5th grade with Mr. Spadoni. I have a 7th grader in the middle school, and then I have a 1st grader, Griffin, who's over in Hellendale. So I have 3 kids in 3 schools, but I know being this as the second PTA meeting, I don't know if we want to go through and do some quick introductions just quickly so that we know who's here and what your place is with, the district, so that we can, get used to some new faces and learn more about everybody who's willing to partner with us as PTA for this upcoming school year. And then I'll share, the agenda. We have Megan Fess here, who is the treasurer, and we have Tiffany Lawrence here, who is the secretary. So we'll be able to go over the treasurer's report, go over the secretary's minutes from the last meeting, which was in September, and then certainly Mrs. Bello as the principal will be able to kind of give us an update. Jess Krupa's here also from the Board of Education. And then I'm not sure, Mrs. Bello, if you have someone, if Miss Kay is here for a teacher's report, or Miss Tyson or whomever. I don't know if there's someone here that's going to do a teacher's report, but we can kind of review.
Well, no, I don't have anyone specific, but I was going to talk about the virtual family literacy week. But I'm wondering, Faith, if you want to help me with that, because you're part of that brainchild. So perfect.
So first we can do introductions. I don't know who I only see like 4 people on my top, so I don't know if anybody wants to just jump in, or if we want to go, Mrs. Bello, if you want to like call out somebody, and then kind of just go through. There are 9 of us, so that shouldn't take very long.
Perfect. So yeah, we'll do that, because I have learned that you're supposed to say the first name to give people the ability to jump in instead of guessing. So we'll try that strategy.
Okay.
All right. So Penny, you already introduced yourself, right?
Yes.
So I'm Megan Bello. I'm the school principal. Okay. So Faith.
Hi, I'm Faith Constantinidis. I'm a 3rd grade teacher at Laurelton Party. I mean, we're all here for Laurelton Party.
Jess.
Hi, I'm Jess Krupa. I have a son, Zag, in 5th grade in Miss Weitzel's class. I have a daughter, Ada, in 8th grade. And I am also like Penny has said already, I'm the Board of Education. I guess I'm the rep, because I've been here twice and nobody else is showing up. So you're stuck with me.
Well, thank you. Megan.
Sure. Megan Fess. My son is in 5th grade with Mrs. Miller. My daughter is in 9th grade at Eastridge, and I am the treasurer for LP, and I am the secretary for Eastridge.
Okay. Tiffany.
I don't know how I did that. I am Tiffany Lawrence. I'm the secretary for this PTA. Related, if everyone can type their name in the chat, that'd be really helpful for attendance. We had so many people last time. I know I missed a lot of people. And I know, Miss Constantinidis, that I tortured your name, so I'm going to fix it now. Spelling wise. I have a 4th grader in Miss Young's class and a 7th grader in the middle school.
Awesome. And then Stephanie.
Hi, I'm actually new to these meetings. Rich and I are engaged, and I'm effectively Lila's mom now. So I want to be more engaged in this whole process. She's with Mr. Dijon in 4th grade this year. She's doing great. So that's me.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank
and then
you.
I want to make sure I say, is it Tia? Am I saying that right?
Hello, I'm Tia. I'm Mason's Carter's mother, and his teacher is Mr. Dijon. So, and I'm new to this.
Yay, we're so glad you're here. So glad. And then I think last one is Kara.
Hi, I'm Kara Cuny. I have a fifth grader in Rebecca Weitzel's class, and I have a seventh grader over at the middle school. I also work at LP. I'm a teacher's aide in the third grade with Faith and Amanda Estes.
And that's roll call.
All right, great, good. Well, we'll move on to our agenda items, and first on the list will be Mrs. Bello. I thought would be a good start for just giving us an update on the school. Just refresh me. Can everybody see my screen if I just shared it? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know if you can see my screen or not. You're good?
You're good.
Okay, perfect. So this is kind of the agenda to follow tonight. So we'll have Mrs. Bello give us a report. We'll have Tiffany, as I mentioned before, we'll go over the minutes from the past meeting. Tiffany, do you have those to share? I didn't have them. So do you have them to share, or do you want to email them to me and I can find them? And then Megan, I have the treasurer's report that she gave me. Jess, I wasn't sure if you're officially on the docket, so we have an empty space, but yes, your name will be there for our school board report. And then we'll just kind of talk about upcoming business and ideas. So go ahead, Mrs. Bello.
All right, thanks, Penny. Okay, so just a couple of things that I want to make sure that we keep communicating with our families. So got a couple of things going on. You can definitely tell school has kicked into high gear. So hopefully families are getting correspondence about our virtual book fair through Scholastic. So that is running as of today, and that will go all the way through October 26th. It is being done all online this year. And so the nice thing is that if you order at least $25 or more, you do get free shipping on the book. So we do hope that people will participate. That money is always used for several things around the building. So we're really looking forward to that. And I like online shopping. I don't like in-person shopping, so this works for me. So hopefully people will find some value in that. Faith, do you want to help me talk about the Family Literacy Week?
Sure. Like, am I talking about what we have planned?
Yeah.
Okay. So we tried to make it digital this year. Normally we all get together and we're in the cafeteria, in the gym, have all sorts of activities going on, and it's a one night a week, like one night thing. This year we're doing it across the whole week. So every night there will be a different mystery reader that will be sharing a picture book through video with our students. It's already pre-recorded, which is really nice. So it's kind of like at your own pace whenever you want to do it type of thing. The way the kids will access the mystery reader is through completion of a Nearpod activity every night. So a PDF went home through talking points from Megan, and it has not the QR code, but the code for kids to log into the Nearpod activity. And when they type that code in, it brings them to the Nearpod, and it's like, welcome, this is our literacy week. And it gives them 3 different activities that they could do with their family, with their siblings, with friends, cousins, whoever is around them when they're doing it. And along the way, as they complete each activity, a clue pops up for who the mystery reader is for the night. And so they have a chance to like try to guess and see who it might be. And then by the time they reach the end, that's when they get to the YouTube video, which is our mystery reader. So we have one of those for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Thanks, Faith. And I think it's, I really want to make sure that I publicly thank our literacy team. I know Penny is part of that crew, but so is Mrs. Miller and Mrs. Costello, and then of course, Ms. Constantinides. So just so thankful that you guys were able to take an event and just put a little bit of a creative spin on that so that we're not losing all that we've come to love about school. So really, really happy. And also those activities are almost game-like in a way. So the kids will really, really enjoy them. It's not, just reading, just read this and answer questions. It's very like game-based.
Yeah, that was our goal. Like, don't make it work, make it enjoyable, make it fun.
Yeah. So I think that, go ahead.
Sorry, can I just add really quick? We did it tonight. We did the Tuesday night one, and it was a lot of fun. We kind of made it a little competitive, the first activity, between myself, Rob, and the girls. So, and it was fun to see all the clues pop up too as to who the mystery reader was. We did guess on the last clue.
Did you guess?
We did. By the last clue, we had it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we totally did. But it was a lot of fun.
And they don't expire, right, Faith? So like if families don't do it today, like they could do the Tuesday one on Wednesday and do Tuesday and Wednesday together, right? Because we didn't get to it as a family either. My husband's working right now. So I just want to make sure if we need to unlock it before the end of the day. I couldn't remember if there's a, you have to do it on a specific day. You don't,
No,
right?
you can take your time. Nearpod actually saves them for almost a month. So those will be up.
Perfect. Thanks, Faith. Okay, I also want to make sure that I address the 10-week transition that'll be here before we know it. Okay, so what's going to be happening is our remote students will have an opportunity, our families rather, will have an opportunity to make a decision of whether they want to continue doing remote instruction for another 10 weeks or whether they would prefer that the kids come back to in-person learning. This is hot off the press. I just kind of learned this one at the end of last week, that our in-person families will also have an opportunity to fill out this survey, and giving them an opportunity at that point, if they would rather do the remote learning model, then they would have an opportunity to say that they would prefer that. We will be double checking any families that have made a switch because we learned from last time and there was quite a bit of flip-flopping, but only because it was confusing and families didn't really know what they necessarily were signing up for. So hopefully we have a better grasp of what this is going to look like. So that will be coming up, I believe, next week. You guys will be getting a survey from the district. So we're just asking that all families fill that out, whether you are staying with the model that you're currently in or you want to switch, just make sure we fill that out. So 100% completion would be amazing. For any remote student who's coming back to school, that start date would officially be November 9th. So that's just giving you some time to think and plan ahead. Okay, and I'd be happy to answer any questions about that too momentarily. And then the last thing that go ahead. Yes. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. I think even myself, I was confused by that in the summer. And like I said, I work in a school district, so it was like 87,000 emails going back and forth, but I felt terrible because I think either somebody from LP or somebody from the middle school called and said, hey, just making sure your kid is planning on showing up and you didn't I was like, yeah, no, I thought if I didn't fill anything out, that meant I wanted, 100%. I think it was probably Zeg. So just to really make sure, like cap locks, bold, whatever it is, to make sure that all parents know that even if you want to stay with what you have, that it has to be filled out. So thank you for clarifying, because
I know. Well, this time is already hard enough, right? So the more we can do to support each other and try to make this as clear as we can, what we will try to do.
Well, and on top of that, make less work for you guys and everybody else who has to make the phone calls. So that's
absolutely. So
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Any other questions? I want to make sure Stephanie and Tia, any questions about that? Are you good? Perfect. Okay. And then just my last update is about parent-teacher conference days. So we all know that open house this year was a little funky, and we, did the best that we could, and we did a virtual open house, but that, prevented our families from being able to sign up for a conference day with teachers. So what we're going to do is that first week of November, I am going to be sending out a Microsoft form. It's going to look very similar to surveys that you've completed in the past. And you will be able to indicate whether you, want a conference, or no, you're good, you don't need anything. You're going to be able to tell us whether the 23rd or the 24th of November works best for you. If those dates don't work for you for whatever reason, you'll still be able to work something out with the classroom teacher, but we're just trying to get ahead here. And then whether you prefer a morning, afternoon, or night conference. And so once you fill out that information, I, work my magic through Microsoft Forms, and I will get all of that information to the classroom teacher. And they will take care of really, solidifying and setting up that date and time for you. Okay. So that's just how we're going to try it this year. So I just didn't want to throw people since I'm the one sending it out. But that's just the initial step will be from me, and then the classroom teacher will contact you after that. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, Megan?
So will those be in person or Zoom? Or is it our choice?
It will be your choice.
Okay.
Yep, your choice. If you are do want an in-person, you would have to request that though. So that's not part of the initial Microsoft form. So you would have to request that of the teacher. Good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other? Makes sense? All right, I think that's it for the LP report.
Thank you, Mrs. Bello. So Tiffany will have our minutes from last meeting. If Megan, if you can give her share screen.
Oh, Tiffany, yeah.
Then Tiffany Lawrence can review, and we can see if they approved as written or if there are any changes, if anybody can look for any misspellings or incorrect information. We can make changes if necessary, but Tiffany's fantastic, so I bet there are none.
All right.
My mute button changed and I couldn't find it. So let me see if I can scroll here. It's a little clunky. So last time we didn't have, we hadn't voted on board members. So the top part is just acting board members. We stayed in positions and hoped that everyone would vote for us again. So then, let's see. This is mostly the meat of it, I think. Let me know when you're ready to scroll, kind of. Somebody give me a wave. They are available. I don't know how we want to do that this year. They are available on our LP board drive, like on the through the email address, but I usually make them available to the district to share after they've been approved. So
yeah, Tiffany, I can work because we can send them to Danielle Gorevsky and she can upload them right to our website.
Yeah. Yep, and they usually do, but not until they're approved. I usually email them. Who's the person?
Yeah,
Danielle?
Danielle Gorevsky.
Yeah.
I can give you her email, Tiffany, if you don't have it.
Because I think I did it all year last year. She's
okay.
Girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you guys see it all? Do you want me to move anything?
Yeah.
No, I can see it all.
Okay.
I don't see any changes. Does anybody else see any changes need to be made? I don't see any typos either, so we can approve as submitted.
Okay.
And then I will share my screen. Megan gave me the treasurer's report, so let me grab that. Okay. Can you see that, Megan, fast?
I can, thank you.
Okay.
I popped myself back into the normal Zoom screen. I'm like, no, what did I do?
It's always a crazy shuffle. I feel like it's a little hokey pokey kind of thing, right?
Oh my gosh. So I took it back from, I gave the balance in September, but I did this from the balance that we did for the full audit. Because we didn't really have that much going on anyway. So in August, we started with the 2902.53 cents. We have had memberships of $15 come in. We had a Square One art check that was the spring fundraiser, but Square One Art held on to all of the checks for all of the districts for all of the USA and sent them in now in the fall for everybody, knowing that schools were in session now. So we did get that. Withdrawals, we had the literacy night check go through, and we had the tall and small, and those were from the winter time. So if we do have receipts for events this year, let's try to get those in a little bit sooner, and I'll try to do a little bit better about requesting them. So our end balance, and we still have the outstanding checks, so I'm going to write myself another reminder to ask Mr. Savine and Shrimpowski if they know anything about that. Because that was for the NISMA back in March that obviously got canceled. So our end balance right now is $2,654.46. The cash box has not changed. It's still $50. We did get the interest at the end of September. We won't get another 19 cents into the savings account until December. So the end balance for the savings account is $1,244.07. So that's about it. I do have a check for Ridge Nickelback. Becky Monahan had set us up. She was working at a COVID site or COVID testing site over the summer, and she had set it up so that way Ridge Nickelback was going to pick up bottles for us and then put it into an account for us. So we set up the account, and then it was a whole mess. So when I got the check from Ridge Nickelback, it was only the $89 that I have participated myself in over the summer and done that. So it does not have any of the COVID money. So I will contact them and see if it was a mix-up, because I know that they were not going on the right days and it was a huge problem. So I don't know if the COVID site, the COVID test site was just like, forget it. Like, this is too crazy. We have more important stuff to be worrying about than who's picking up bottles and cans. So I will be doing another, my garage is getting full again from after this weekend. So I'll be doing another contact list pickup probably this weekend to get that all out. So if anybody has bottles and cans and you don't want to take them to Ridge Nickelback, I will most certainly do that. So, but the check for that is about $89. So.
Nice.
And that is, I believe, it for me.
Thanks, Megan. I'll stop share screen. And Jess, if you want to give us a board report.
There we go. Sorry. We had a board meeting last week. We were able to honor our newly tenured teachers and our new staff. So that was fantastic. So again, for everybody that wasn't on here, congratulations to Miss K and all the other teachers, but Miss K is one that's here. And all of the principals did a little spiel, a little brief speech, I guess you would say, right, Megan? Yeah. About each person. And Mrs. Bello did a really nice kind of everybody, because she was here and was part of the process of, was it 4?
Yeah, it's so
the
crazy.
4 that were
yeah, so the 4 that got tenured, I was there right as they started their careers at LP. So that
could have waited.
And then I left and I got to come see their end product, and they're amazing. So
yeah, so that was nice. And Mr. Hiley and Mr. Roach were not able to be there, but Mr. Crescetti was able to speak on their behalf for the staff that were honored and recognized. So that was really nice. And we got to see some faces of new staff, which
Mr.
I mean,
Sawyer.
we're
Yeah.
hiring right up until the very last minute, just because of the situation. So it was nice to put,
Yeah.
it was nice for me because I see all of the stuff in our board packets and the names that come across, but it's nice to see faces, to connect with those names and that kind of thing. So that was great. Let's see. After Mrs. Bello sped out of there as quickly as she could, like,
Oh, you saw that?
giving the peace sign to me, like, see you later. Not really, she didn't, but that was, I was so jealous. I was like, oh, take me with you. Then Mrs. Sloan, Mr. Zeller, Mr. Kurtziel from the middle school gave a presentation on, I guess basically their district goals and what they were going to be doing throughout the school year, academically, social emotional learning, those kinds of things, and already things that they have started doing at the middle school. So that was awesome to hear. Great to hear how the kids were transitioning, and fully remote kids were doing so well. The hybrid kids are doing great. I know when the thought of 2 days in, 2 days home, 2 days in, 2 days home, everyone was like, what? It's not the same days? I was like, I kind of like that, because we're getting ahead of all those other districts, you guys, that are taking that Wednesday off. I mean, all that additional, plus on top of that, the kids are learning synchronously, which started off a little rocky, I think, for everybody, just trying to figure out the technology part of it. But I know in our house, like, Ada was home today, and I came home and I said, how was your day? And she's like, it was so fun. I was like, oh, good. We've gotten past like the struggle and figuring out how to meet the needs of the kids that are in person, as well as make those kids that are home feel like they're a part of the discussion and the activity and those kinds of things. So teachers are working their butts off to really make that happen. So not only hearing from them, but being able to see it as from the parent side of it, it's really starting to, all the gears are starting to work, and it's just, I think it's been going well. Same with the high school. Mr. Hafey was talking about how we were able as a district to, because of the way that we did our scheduling and the way that we, it's a lot more work for the teachers. I definitely know that from the teacher side of it, as well as the parent side of it, but it's a lot of work for the teachers, because these teachers in the middle school and high school, there aren't like 4th grade fully remote teachers. There's, if you're an algebra teacher, or if you are a whatever those any of those classes, you have your hybrid kids and you have your fully remote kids that you have to provide instruction for. But being able to do that, our district was able to offer all of the higher level AP, IB, all of those classes that a lot of districts weren't able to do based on staffing and the needs. So, I mean, just after listening to the middle school and the high school give their presentations, it made me very happy as a parent, and also especially as a board member, just knowing how much we have pushed as a district just to really keep cranking the curriculum and keep these kids learning and being challenged. And we're still able to do that during a pandemic, you guys, which is huge. A couple of our board members and Ms. Grow were able to go to a luncheon, and it was Idris Smith, who has just one, right? Isn't just his daughter?
Faith's class.
Eamon's in the middle school now. But he went and he said he almost had to be like, is this for real? Because everybody around them was complaining about how things were working and how it was a nightmare and all these other things. And we were kind of able to say as a district, oh, yeah, that's kind of too bad, because we've got that already up and running, and we thought of that 2 months ago, and those kinds of things. So I think we are in a great place as a district. I think obviously everybody's experiences and every day is a little bit different. Some days technology works, some days it doesn't. Some days we have some kids that are absent, some days we have to catch kids up. But as a whole, our district is just working really hard to keep all the kids challenged, involved, and in keeping us progressing on that curriculum and the things that we need to get done. Let's see, flipping my paper over. And Mr. Anson, our assistant superintendent of instruction, also did a quick spiel on the, kind of hard to give the spiel on the testing. Yep. Say hi, Zag.
Hi,
Hi, Zag.
I caught a salmon last night.
You
Okay.
did?
All right. We're in a board meeting, or in a PTA meeting. Sorry. Yeah. They just got back from
I want
fishing
to
too.
about the
Sorry.
fish.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure he'll show
I'll ask him
you. He
tomorrow.
wants me to put pictures on his iPad, so I'm sure he'll be able to show you.
Dad did.
No, already did. Done.
Oh,
So
I
see you
want to see tomorrow. Okay.
3 feet, 16 pounds.
Amazing.
Mhm. Anyway, Mr. Anson did a quick talk about test scores and things like that. But again, just given the situation last year with no regencies, no state testing, and not being able to do those district assessments at the end, middle, March and end of the school year, it's kind of tough to give an overall view of where we were as a district. But he did speak about how we were getting back to the testing and the assessments that we needed to do so that we could see where the gaps were with our kids and get everybody caught up and moving towards where they needed to be. So, and everybody's home and my dog's about to go nuts. So that's all I have. I'm going to mute myself. You want to show them the new puppy, Zach? Yeah, Zach back here. Come here, Charlie.
Oh, we have a new puppy too.
Take her here. Yeah, I can pick her up.
Come say hi.
Oh,
Say
so
hi.
cute. Zach, who is that?
Charlie.
Oh, he's adorable.
So cute.
Yep. Oh gosh. So we have a third Krupa. She won't be coming to you guys, so you're all set. Don't worry about it.
I was gonna say we shut the door on the Krupas, so
She might be a little better behaved than.
no, I don't believe that. That's funny.
Thanks, Jess. So the last thing, I'll just pull up the agenda again here and just kind of review the upcoming things. We have let me just screen share here. Let me figure this thing out here. Here we go. It's hard to talk and do the manipulation on the laptop, but for Tia and Stephanie, you may have already seen that our PTA is having a fundraiser right now with Leo's Bakery. It's an online fundraiser, and that is going to go until next Monday, the 19th, I believe it is, Tiffany. So we're trying to drum up, some online presence. It's all going to be delivered to LP the week of the, I can't see, mine's covered over here with all these.
It's the week of Thanksgiving.
The week of Thanksgiving will be on the 23rd. Sorry, I had you guys were in the gallery over on the right. I was covering half of my agenda here. So yeah, the 19th to the 23rd, we're going to have curbside pickup from 5 to 7. And for those families that aren't able to make that time frame, then we'll make some special arrangements for some extra delivery or things like that, because we all know that freezer space is very scarce.
Yeah.
We are going to be hosting our virtual paint night, which will be promoted soon. That's going to be October 30th. And you said you have fourth graders, Stephanie and Tia, right? So last year, did you come to the fall festival? That's traditionally LP's kind of launch into the school year, and we kick off our PTA membership drive with that event. So being that we couldn't be in person this year, we tried to be a little more creative and are hosting a virtual paint night where Megan Fess's sister is going to pre-record a paint demonstration, and then families will be able to choose whether they want to buy one paint kit, add-on paint kit, or a family paint kit. And that will be on our what we call membership, our member hub store. So we'll have more information for everyone soon. That flyer is going to be sent to district office, I believe, for approval this week. So we hope to have things in backpack sometime next week or the following, but we'll be posting on our Facebook page, and then we'll have Mrs. Bello kind of send it out in her weekly s'more and some talking points. But that will be kind of our next fundraising initiative, where we're just kind of lump summing it into our membership drive so that we have more participation, within our group here. Faith already went over the virtual literacy week, and then our bylaws are due for renewal. So they're good for every 3 years, and they technically expired on the 1st of the month of October. So we have them from regional. We'll be updating them, and then we'll present them to the PTA meeting next month to have them voted on for the next 3 years. And our next, which I believe is election day, isn't Tuesday, November 3rd, election day? So that is our next PTA meeting. And if there are any new business or new ideas, I'll open up the floor. If there are any questions, we'll take any, discussions. If anybody has any questions, Stephanie or Tia or anybody on the board.
Yes, I have a question. When I went to do Leo's Bakery, try to order one of their pies, I couldn't. I clicked on the link and it sent me somewhere else. It sent me,
Which link did you find from the actual? I know my son ended up bringing it home on like a yellow piece of paper, so I'm assuming everybody got the same.
I didn't get a yellow piece of paper.
Okay.
Virtual, right, Tia? So
yes.
Did you get it did you do the remote pickup days or no, Tia? Not this time. It should have been with that stuff.
No, not Dr. Lord. Mr. Dijon, he went, I don't have another car, so he had to come and drop off Mason's little supplies, and I didn't get a yellow paper.
We'll get you the right information. We'll definitely get you the right information. I know when you
let me put it in the chat for you right now. I think I can do that, but it does take you to somewhere kind of weird where you have to put in.
Yeah.
You have to put in your student's name, and then
I had everything for him, and I'm like, all right, because my mom, she came in, she's like, you sent me the link, and I'm trying to buy pies. I'm trying to get ready for November, and I'm like, let me just check something. So thank you for that, because I was like, am I doing something
Tiffany
wrong?
puts the link on there, and we'll also put it on our Facebook page. We don't have multiple facets from the social media perspective, so we just kind of keep to a Facebook page. So anybody, Mrs. Bella's been great about trying to get it out other ways. We don't have an Instagram page or, Twitter or any of those types of things, though if anybody wants to create one for us, we certainly wouldn't say no. But so if you do log in, Tiffany's right. It does kind of look a little bit different. And then you would add your student's name. And then it kind of it prompts you to giving you like pre-populated, almost like advertisement to promote. There you go.
See, I didn't get that one. Okay.
Yeah, it'll give you this, and then it will give you just an advertisement that you kind of use to send to people that want to order.
Okay, great.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah, and up top, I used it, I think, on my mobile device, so you can buy more than just pies, too.
Oh,
so
yeah, we're doing cheesecakes and all.
And there's French bread pizzas and pretzels you can put in the microwave. Like, there's a lot of different,
I went to the bakery, so I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to buy up the whole store.
Yeah, you're so funny. I think all of us are the same. We all want to buy the whole store.
So I love it. Thank you so much.
Good question. Yeah, thank you. Because that means, if you were having trouble, then a lot of others might have the same trouble. So thank you for bringing that up to us.
Absolutely. So I can post it on the Facebook page again with a little more explanation. That helps us to know that people maybe are having some trouble with it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and Tiffany, whatever you put, I can kind of splice and do a talking points with that. Oh, so cool. Just getting that out to everybody as well. So.
And then as we have the approval for the paint night, I'll show you really quick.
Oh, we're approved, by the way. So,
we are. Okay.
Yeah.
So this here, if I share my screen. Go ahead.
It's about the pies. Can anybody order? I know it says like put your child, like your student name. Like, can I order pies for the fundraiser?
Can. So the guy that we are working with, I asked him if we could share it out to the community, and he said we could. And you would just put your own name, and then you would have to show up for pie pickup.
Okay.
So I think we would know teachers' names. You're not just like a random community member. but you just put your own name. He said try to pick a student, but I think you can't as a teacher probably pick one.
Right.
So just list your own name and you'll be a PTA fundraiser. Maybe you'll get a prize.
Oh,
Hey.
I just want the pies.
Yeah.
Understood.
Well, that
Just
is
put
a
your
good
name.
point to bring up because we had discussed, I think the PTAs are trying to cross promote, where maybe we would promote somebody else's fundraiser, but that'll make it a little bit difficult in that regard. So I'm glad you brought that up, Faith. So maybe that, we might have to stay building local for that one because it just seems like it might be a little bit tricky to kind of figure out the rest of it, but maybe we'll be able to figure out another way that the community can participate in a future, fundraising effort. But while we're talking about the fundraising for the virtual, I was just going to show you really quick on our member hub site. I can show you what it would look like here. Once we have it officially, this is what will come home. So remote learners will get it on their remote pickup, but we'll have Mrs. Bello post it on her s'more and like the talking points. But this is where you would be able to come right on our PTA store, which is new for us this year. LP traditionally has done, flyers and exchanging money, and we all know that, transactional items aren't going to be a thing. And it's actually, a wave of the future anyway to do online purchasing. So I think this is a great way. So this will be our first way that if you wanted to participate, which will be October 30th, you could buy one paint kit for $15 and it will include one, adult membership to our PTA. If you wanted to buy an additional item, you would add on and it would be an additional $10. If you wanted a family 4-pack, we just wanted it for convenience sake, that is an option. So those will be the 3 ways that you can purchase for the paint night. And then as we have other events and different ideas that hopefully we can, come up with for the new year for 2021, we might have this PTA store, a little bit more active this academic year.
I think this is brilliant. I love this idea. I'm so excited. My daughter is so excited to do the painting. So those flyers, believe it or not, will actually be home by the end of the week.
Oh, great.
So we've gotten approval from district office to go ahead and print. So Mrs. Lorberg's going to be working on that. Thank you, Mrs. Lorberg. And for virtual families, we're actually going to send it digitally to start. So through your emails. And then when you do your pickup day in another, I think it's 2 weeks, you guys will also get a hard copy of the flyer. Okay.
Awesome. And then same kind of thing with the Leos. We'll do curbside pickup on that Tuesday before the 30th, which I think is the 27th. And then anybody who can't make it in that pickup time, which will be designated 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, again, we'll work with families similar to how we've had like walk-ins, coming to any of our events. If somebody wants to participate, we're never going to turn anybody away. So we would just ask that they either email our Gmail PTA, address or, somehow get in contact with us. And we'll make sure I don't have any problem making, deliveries or things like that for those that might be able to get it into their schedule where they thought that they were pre-committed or something like that. So we'll definitely be flexible as always.
Jeff?
Penny?
Yeah.
Am I talking? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
I was like, is there a ghost? What? Did I just hear my name?
Do you know if because I set up something for the paint night and then you set up what you just showed. So I don't know if they're both existing. Like what
I think it's, so I never typed anything new. I think whatever you put in there, there was like 2 stores. Like there's a new, what could be store, and then there's our old store.
Okay.
And I think it mirrors each other until we set up the new store with like a new bank account and all that other kind of stuff. I think what you put in was already there. And I just did it like as a shadow thing behind. I didn't add anything except for like the picture of what would have been the flyer. I didn't type in any of the descriptions or anything like that. So I think there's like a old store, which is how it's been, and we just have never used it. And then I think they're just getting, more savvy and have more bells and whistles to the store, and that's what we would have to still set up.
Okay. I wonder if people are going to get to something different, like how Tia mentioned that she came to something weird and didn't know what to do. I feel like that could happen with the member hub, since I set up something and then what you sent out was totally different from what the thing was that I was looking at.
Yeah,
So
I mean, what I
think
could
we're
do,
going to have to know some answers about that when because people are going to
I
be.
could put in, and I don't have it here to paste in there, but I was just saying, I could, well, maybe I can write, let me go for you.
We don't have to figure it
If
out
I
right now.
copy this, let me see if I can copy this and paste it into that chat. And like maybe Kara or somebody can try and jump on it and see if you can get in there and tell me if it, oops, that might have gone to, let me get everybody in here. If anybody wants to test it and see if they can get in there, that would be helpful for us, because we did have a little bit of an issue trying to figure out, there's a new store versus an old store. So if anybody could take a minute and like click that link and see if it leads you to someplace. By no means do you have to actually purchase anything right now, but we just want to see if it works.
Yeah, that's not the thing I
It
set up.
works.
It's
I
fine.
see it.
Yeah, I think that it just was like a new version versus an old version,
Yep.
Tiffany. And I think you started it in like a new version, but we don't have our PTA bank account. Like we have to do all that Stripe setup and all that other, you know.
Okay. Just as long as we can answer questions about
Yeah,
it.
right. No, that's a great question. So thank you, Tia, for telling us that you could get there. Does anyone have any
Awesome.
other questions?
Yep, I had a quick question about the, I think the virtual paint night, I think that's so cool. So kudos to you guys for really thinking outside of the box and really trying to come up with things to include the community and the kids and create a sense of a community, I guess. My question is, so you said that Megan's, is it your sister, Megan?
Yeah.
Is gonna pre-record it, and then will it be a Zoom link? Is everybody gonna be painting at the same time? Are they painting on their own?
That was my next question. So I'm going to record Molly on Thursday doing it. So she used to host paint and sip nights at Applebee's. So that's how we got, and she owes me for all the babysitting I've done lately. So this is her payment. So so what do I have to do? Like, do I just film it on my cell phone or?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you film it, and then it's pre-recorded, we'll end up doing very similar. So Hellendale did a pajama story time a couple Fridays ago, and Teresa had Miss Chapeau as a pre-recorded thing. So it was like Teresa was like the MC and like paused and started things. So I think if Megan, if you take, video Molly, then we'll be able to have it as a live Zoom, but then it will also be recorded, Jess. So I feel like if you weren't able to, but you paid the money, then we would be able to, after the event ends, then we would be able to send it out as a pre-recorded Zoom.
Okay.
Like this is being recorded right now, and Mrs. Bella will be able to put it on the
Sure.
website. I imagine
Yeah.
that we would then be able to distribute that Zoom link as a pre-recorded. So it's a pre-record of a pre-record for those that can't
Sure.
actually do it in person.
Okay, I was just curious because I thought, even if that's the situation, then you might be able to include more people, because I'm just
Right, so
thinking
maybe be a
myself,
little
like,
more
oh, my
descriptive
sister
on
might
it.
want to do
Right.
that, my mom might want to do that. Like, I could get stuff and send it to them, and then if they couldn't be there the 30th, we could all pop on together at a different time and do it, but we're still using your supplies and you get members from, other
Mhm.
people. I think that's a great way to market it too. So
I love that.
yeah.
And then Megan, maybe we can talk offline, because I think if you upload it to the LP YouTube, it will just be better, because then I can share my screen. And I've learned the trick. You have to click a certain button to be able to really hear the audio. Otherwise, it will be a disaster. So
Okay.
maybe we can work on, if you do that, if you record it, we can get you to upload it to our YouTube, and then we can play it that way.
And if you have it in YouTube, it can also be translated
Yes.
Oh, nice.
to other languages.
And so maybe like a few of us can be a test, whatever, and we can play around with you know,
Yeah.
Mrs. Bello doing it toward us, and we can make sure that we understand it and the audio comes through or whatever. We've got, the nice thing is it's the 30th, so we do have, you know, a good bit of wiggle room. If Megan, you get Molly, you know, recorded this week, then we can kind of play around with it a little bit. All this technology is just so
It is. It's so
good
cool.
and crazy
Amazing.
at the same
Our
time.
district
Yeah.
is really started pushing teachers to put their lessons and other things on. Even though I'm not a huge fan of putting myself on YouTube, I think, you know, you have to click a couple things and make it semi-private. But that way, when families go to view it, I mean, I think it's a limited number. It's not, you know, like Google Translate where you can put in a huge list of languages, but it is able to be translated. So that opens the,
yeah, absolutely.
it just makes it accessible to so many more people and more inclusive. So I think that's a great idea. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and if it's successful, I mean, whatever options or things that we might have left over, it's certainly in my eyes not, you know, wasted things. The color paint, we just buy some other color paint and find another picture that's something like in the new year. I think it would be a great thing that we wouldn't lose money on. We can find other ways to sell the same product if we don't, you know, sell out of what we, you know, had purchased initially. So I think it could be, you know, something that everybody looks forward to. And being that we can't have our tall and small dance or our glow dance, you know, I anticipate that's not happening. We got to figure out some big cool event or something to do. So put your, you know, brainstorming hats on, and we'll try to figure out something that we can have, you know, family participation in, or something that will just have to be virtual once the snow starts falling. So we'll have to think about those types of
and paint and canvases and those kinds of things. I mean, those can be used hopefully eventually when we can be in person, just for a craft at some sort of gathering. So I think it's, I mean, there's not a lot of expiration on those things. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. That's so cool.
And I heard Megan say something about wine. I don't know about the adults in the group, but if you're home and you're with your children, I don't know. I'm just saying.
As long as it comes in a bottle or can, so that way we can
pretty
get the
sure I
money
heard
and give
sip
Nickelback.
somewhere along the way. Sip was in there.
Oh, so much fun.
Oh my gosh.
Does anybody else have any questions or new ideas that we could kind of bring into fundraising or think about it? Our email address, we like to keep our meetings to 1 hour, so we're getting close to closing in on 8 o'clock anyway. But if there isn't any new business or any questions, then we can look forward to the next time that we meet on November 3rd. But certainly our Facebook page is always open. So is our Gmail address. And Stephanie and Tia, we're so glad that you joined us today. So if you have, other ideas, we'd love to, have you on a committee of sorts. We all kind of navigate into going into the third month of this school year to kind of just, have a little bit more activities on a virtual side for everybody within the building. Parents,
and please
teachers,
share your experience with other families. We are not scary people. We are very down to earth. For God's sakes, I talked about wine. This is recorded again.
That's okay.
Yes. All the things principals shouldn't do.
Yes,
Yeah.
all right. Because I can go through all this. I can go for a bottle of wine. I have every week.
We are real people, so please share. And thank you for coming. And please come back. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was so cool, you guys,
will.
that you're
I
able.
love it.
I think we're gonna see some silver linings out of this. Oops, sorry.
100%.
See some silver linings. I'm gonna just mute myself. Forget
It's okay, Jess.
I was just gonna say some silver lining out of this. I think we'll find that going forward, we might be able to see mixing this style of meeting with in person, just because you do see different groups of people being able to come on certain times and certain days. And I don't know about you, but sometimes it's nice to just sit in my own dining room and not hear the hum of that vending machines
Yeah, right.
in the
video
background,
out,
you know,
right?
and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think it's great, and I think it's awesome that you guys that have your kids that are fully remote are feeling included and are having a great experience. And it's so great to see your faces and hear that your kids are having a great job. I mean, they have Mr. DeJohn. Let's not. He's pretty amazing. So
He's a good
as
one.
they all are. But that's just a great experience. I'm so glad you guys were here. And hopefully we'll have more new faces, right? Get all these new people here and remote parents and everything. So thanks for having me again, Penny. I don't know if I'm going to be your all-time board rep. I'll be here as a parent either way.
Well, we like
and then
you,
I can just,
so please, you can keep coming back.
thanks. I can just give you the quick board spiel anyway while I'm here. So I might as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, you guys. Thanks.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great rest of the week. And if there are any questions, you know, reach out to us in any capacity that you're most comfortable with.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
You're welcome. Have a good night, everyone.
Tell
Have
the
a good
kids we said
night.
hi. Bye.